about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics.
Hello everybody, YouTube, it's Charles, and today we're going to talk about Vampirella Armageddon from Dynamite Comics. Vampirella is one of my favorite comic book characters, and this series right here takes off from the Vampirella Strike series a couple of years ago, which takes place in the future. Just a quick rundown of that story. Nyx had taken over Earth and subjugated all the humans to be in the shadows, and the monsters of the world took over. And Vampirella led an underground rebellion along with the humans and other supernatural beings to liberate them and to try to bring not human supremacy but equity into society. And so she started working with, I think they were called the Dance Macabre, as kind of a government type to police this new society. And that's where we left off at Vampirella Strikes. And here we start off this one with a big sandstorm on an unfamiliar planet. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. What actually prompted me to do this review is I read the book one time, and before I reviewed it, I wanted to give it a second reading, and I just plumb forgot to until I got this alternate cover featuring my favorite cosplay cover artist, Rachel Holland. And I was like, you know what? I need to pull out Vampirella Armageddon, give it a second read, and do this review on it. If you are a fan of Vampirella, it is very good and it's completely different from the Christopher Priest run that is happening right now. And again, I'm not a fan of Christopher Priest or his writing style, so I'm not following it. But that's not to say that he's a bad author, because he's clearly not. And people enjoy his work. He has a long track record working for virtually every major comic book company. I just don't prefer his style. This is written by Tom Snigoski, and the art is by Kimber Ball. And let's get into it. So we're on an unfamiliar planet, kind of a cold open drop into the action, and then from there we go back to Sepulchre City. The menagerie. The menagerie is where all of the monsters live, and Vampirella is taking it upon herself to live there and to be their protector. As it seems that the roles have flipped since Vampirella Strikes, and now these supernatural beings are the ones being discriminated against. And Vampirella decided to be her protector, and she is getting information at kind of this seedy bar about missing migrants that have been coming to the menagerie, but they never end up showing up. And she's here with her partner, who is a werewolf, which is a cool dynamic. Not sure if he is a character in canon or not, but irregardless, they have a fun dynamic. And she gets information from this shady character who lets her know that a mysterious van has been driving out through the warehouse district, and her and her wolf partner are off, following the van into the warehouse district, where they actually stumble across humans, seemingly. But no, these are coyotes, were-coyotes, I guess. And so them and the wolf automatically have beef, and these guys are essentially the foot soldiers working for another powerful entity to collect humans for some sacrifice in hopes that they can literally move up the food chain in the menagerie. And Vampirella, not one to hold back, hops right into the fray and to this ritual that ends up taken her from Earth to this faraway realm or planet with all of these migrants who have been kidnapped. And you can see that's where we get to the dust storm that we encounter in the beginning of the book. And she fights her way out just in time to face a horrible dust storm. And so that's where we are, is her stranded in an unfamiliar place. Oh yeah, and the last line here. Vampirella knew that she was no longer on Earth and had a strong suspicion as to where she had ended up, but hoped that she was wrong. And, yeah. Where? She asked. And these figures on camels ride up and say, "Welcome to hell, cursed one." And so she is apparently in hell. And that's where they leave issue number 1. I really enjoyed it. I liked that it was a clear structure. It throws you right into the action. And while it doesn't flat out explain everything in words, the visuals tell enough of the story for you not to be confused and follow along. And yeah, I have criticized Christopher Priest cold opens and jumping in time jumps, but the reason that I criticize them is that they're not paid off in obvious ways. Here we clearly see the dynamic difference between this hell dimension and the menagerie. So it's no mystery of that. Okay, yeah, this is where we are right now, and this is how we got there. And so that's why I will give this a pass, because it has a lot more clarity than a lot of people that use that technique. And just to talk about the covers here, this is the A cover. You go to the cover gallery here in the back. Dynamite Comics, they put out, one thing I've always complained about Dynamite Comics, they put out way too many covers, in my opinion. But who am I to say? If they sell all the alternate covers and people enjoy them, I shouldn't be such a cover snob. But here we look, we got yeah, it looks like we have 5 distinct covers and variants of those covers. This is cover A by Francesco Mattina. And you see her here, kind of in the shadows, blood dripping from her teeth. You know, real dark vibe off of it. Really dig this. You get to see in the shadows a little bit of the signature look here, but it is very much shrouded in darkness. And this is, and the one I have behind me in the background is the cosplay cover by Rachel Holland, otherwise known as Faces by Archie on Instagram. And the thing that I like about Rachel Holland's work, apart from the obvious, me being a dude, but apart from the obvious sensuality of the covers, she just really captures the essence of every character that she cosplays, be it Jennifer Blood. I think I've seen her as Red Sonja. A lot of Vampirella covers. It's not just looks. She goes all out, from the makeup to the costume to the poses. She captures the essence of every character. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of times when it's her on the cover, you can almost always say, okay, yeah, that's Rachel Holland's work. But you really have to sometimes look very closely, because she dives that much into each character. And so this right here is a cover that I did. I'm probably going to frame it, put it up on my comic wall of fame. And there's a very cool cover, I think, by a different on number 2, there's a different cosplay artist. that did a very good cover. If I can find it here. Sorry, going through my stacks of comics. Here we go. Yeah, and this is the virgin cover with no writing of Vampirella Armageddon #2. Which, let me know in the comments if you guys want a review of Vampirella #2 here. And yeah, this cosplayer is Laura. Let me get her name right. Lauren DeLorean. That is a very cool cover right there. But yeah, still very good cover, but not quite as hip as Rachel Holland's, in my opinion. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think of Vampirella Armageddon if you've read it. You know, if you read it, if you're reading the Christopher Priest series, let me know what you think about that one. Any disagreements you may have. But like I said, in these reviews, it's about my perspective, my opinion, not discrediting anybody else's preferences or opinions. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I will. I'm out.